Are you wondering where to begin if you're thinking about starting a coaching or consulting business? In this episode, I've got you covered. We're going to talk about how to know if you're ready to take the plunge, how to start thinking about what you might even coach or consult about, and the number one thing you need to do before you go all in. And spoiler alert, it is not incorporate or get a website. So I'm Laura Zavelson. This is the GenXpert Show where we talk about capitalizing on your expertise and experience to build a business as a coach, consultant, or independent expert so you can finally be the one to be in control of your time, your impact, and your financial future. So let's take a minute and talk about whether now is the right time for you to ditch corporate and burn your resume for good. So, option one, I think, is that you keep doing whatever it is you're doing now. And here's what I honestly think is going to happen. You're going to stay frustrated. You're going to keep having the Sunday scaries. And that little voice is going to keep bugging you that life is way too short to be spending it doing something that doesn't light you up or working somewhere where you're not valued. And I'm not saying that you can't find that in another job somewhere, maybe with another company or doing something different. But I'm also saying that you can sort of get control over that and make it exactly how you want it if you start a business on your own. Now, if you don't currently have a job right now and you're looking, I want you to take a moment and think about what it might feel like if you could stop all that resume sending, all the interview prep and the not hearing back and those coffees that don't go anywhere. And you poured all of that time and energy into creating something that, again, you have control over and something that you know that you'll love. Either way, when you start your own business, your only boss is you. And every day you'll be using your knowledge and something that you're good at to help other people solve a problem. And when that's your reality, you're going to be excited to wake up in the morning. And even better, you're going to have a lot more control over when and where you do the work. And you won't be stuck in anybody else's budget or salary band. Your financial future belongs to you. So, something that I hope you'll find reassuring is that it's not that complicated or expensive to get started. In fact, I've got a roadmap PDF and a starter kit video for you, and I will put those links in the video notes. But let's get back to the other two things: finding your coaching or consulting sweet spot, and the first thing you have to do before even naming your business or getting a logo or anything else. So, how do you find an area where you might make a good coach or consultant or independent expert? And when I say independent expert, I just mean something like a graphic designer or a professional organizer or a project manager. Don't worry too much about putting a label on it right now. What we want to do is talk about how you might find a business that you're excited to start. So, if you've been doing paid work in the recent past, there are three ways you can focus. You can focus on your function. So, that might be marketing, it might be finance, could be HR, right? You can focus on your industry. So, tech, healthcare, financial services, retail. You can also focus on the people side of your function. So, project management or executive development or productivity, team building. If you are good at some of those softer kind of skills, that's great news because a lot of times that's where people look to bring coaches in to help develop other people. If you've stepped back from full-time work or you want to make a significant transition in what you do, I want you to think about what you've been doing that you enjoy. A lot of times we don't even realize something is a business opportunity because it's something that comes so easily to us. We can't even believe someone else would pay us to do it. So maybe you raised a bunch of money for your kids' school or their sports team. You could advise nonprofits. Or maybe you figured out a strategy that got your kids admitted to some great schools and other moms keep calling you up and wanting to know how you did it. You could be an admissions coach. Maybe you're the friend everyone calls when they need relationship advice. Okay, you can build a business around that. Another great place to look for business ideas is things that you're avidly interested in. So the things you could talk about for hours, the things you always want to know about, more about, that you're really curious about, you're always reading books about. Now, there's a watch out here because sometimes if you turn your hobby into a business, that idea of trying to make money from something you love can take all the fun out of it. The second thing is that building a business around your hobby may not offer the financial opportunity you're looking for. So we need to be realistic about that. But right now, don't make anything off limits. The most important thing is that it speaks to you and then you get excited when you think about it. Okay. So hopefully by now you've got a list of 3 or 4 things that you think, hey, I like doing that. I'm good at it. And maybe it could be a business. So now the next step in finding that sweet spot is exploring the who. Who do you like to help? So, do you want to help individuals? Do you like working with families? Maybe you think about working with small businesses or big corporations. Who do you enjoy working with, and who have you helped in the past? So, you want to make a list of those too. So, by the way, if this has been helpful to you so far, please do like and subscribe because I'm going to be putting out a new episode every week with more practical strategies on how you can ditch corporate and stop the job search and start building a business instead. Okay, so now you should have two lists in front of you, right? One that has the things that you like doing, and the other that has people that you might like to help. And there's just one more thing that we need to do before we take that first step towards making that real. And that's what we're going to talk about in just a minute as soon as we're done with the lists. So, what we do with the lists is we now start making pairings, the thing that you're passionate about with the group of people that you like to help. So, maybe the thing you're passionate about is marketing strategy. And on your list of people to help, you have small businesses, you have tech companies, and you have healthcare companies. So each one of those is a pairing: marketing strategy for small business, marketing strategy for tech companies, marketing strategy for healthcare companies. Okay, you can do the same thing if maybe your passion is teaching people how to meditate or introducing people to meditation, right? If you have meditation is the thing that you're passionate about, maybe you put who you can help as teenagers, athletes, executives, right? So, three different ideas: meditation for teenagers, meditation for athletes, meditation for executives. All right. So, what you want to do is create these pairing areas where you have some experience and expertise with the people who you think would benefit from your help. So, from all of that, I want you to pick out the three pairings that you're most excited about. Okay, got it? Now, here's that final part I was talking about. The very first thing you need to do before you get your web address or incorporate or get a logo or name your business or anything is that we have to make sure there are people out there who want to buy whatever it is that you think that you want to do. So the gold standard to find that out is to go out and start to have some conversations with the people that you'd like to help so we can start comparing these opportunities. But there are also three super quick ways that you can do a back of the envelope test to see if your idea has some potential. Now, these don't replace talking to people, but they are a great way to get some fast feedback. So, number one, type what you're thinking about doing into Google search. So, you might type in leadership development coaching for corporations, or you might type in fundraising consulting for nonprofits, or fundraising consulting for universities, or dating coach for single women, or professional organizer for busy moms. Okay. And the first thing we want to do is look at, did you get any results? Go past the sponsored ones and see if there's any actual real links there. And don't freak out if there's a lot of other people who do what you're thinking about doing. This is actually good news because it means there's a market for what you want to do. Okay. Number two, this one works especially well for consultants. I want you to go over to LinkedIn and type in what you're thinking about doing. So, not the title, but the function. So, HR strategy, social media management, project manager for product development. Um, if there are companies that are looking for full time help in the area, there's other companies who might want to use a consultant in that area as well. And there's a bonus to this one. See if there's anyone in your network that does what you're thinking about doing, because they might be a great resource for you down the road. And number three, and this one works a little bit better for coaches and experts, go on Amazon Books. Okay. If there's a book that's trying to teach people how to do it or tell people about it, that talks about the thing you're interested in specifically for the group of people you're interested in doing it with, there's probably a market for it. And that is a great sign that you might be able to make money doing this exact thing too. Okay, so what's next? I've got more guidance on what to do before you quit or quit looking in my three-step roadmap called the Gen X Escape Plan. And I've got a starter video that will give you all the tools you need to get your business off the ground, like how are you going to take payments or how do you start an email list? All right, so all you have to do is grab the link in the video description and I'll get those over to you right away. Thanks for listening. I will see you next time.